What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we are fresh from Auto Bright's big summer meet. As you can see, still got a little bit of sunburn on my face. That's what you get when you have to wear a face mask all the time now, and it rubs all your sun cream off. But we did a lot of Kawasaki content lately, and do you know what, we've also done, you know, the Auto Bright meet wasn't exactly jam-packed with marks, was it? So we're back on the Bolt. And okay, so she's finished. There's not much, dodge me dad's bike, there's not much that we really need to do to her. Let's face it, she's fairly complete. So I've had this bike, I think it works out 20 months now, and in that time I've gone from 5,400 miles. Hi Kit, you okay? That's my dad's dog, by the way. So we've gone from 5,400 miles, which is what was on it when I first purchased it, all the way to 9,107. And 1,800 of those miles when we did the NC 500. So I think I'm more than qualified to give you my honest opinion on the Bolt. And I've got 5 things that I really, really hate. So I want to go through those with you today. First of all, let's give the old girl a good coat of GT85 on the engine, you know, just to keep her pristine while she's in storage a little bit more. And we'll run through some of the things that I kind of dislike about the bike. So the first thing I don't really like about the bike is its gearing. This bike is a 5-speed, and for the capacity of engine that it is, I just feel it's a little bit lacking. Especially when you're on the motorway. This has got bags of torque, absolute bags of torque, and from a standing position, it'll get you there, and it'll get you there very quick. There was a little bit when we were on the NC 500 where me and Craig on his multi-strada were a little bit further behind with the lads. We got stuck at a red light in the middle of nowhere, and he, rightly so, you know, used his little blipper and off he went, and lo and behold, there was me behind him with a beaming smile on my face chasing him down. But when we get to top end, you do feel it, you do feel the lack of having that gearing. You're constantly trying to, you know, flick up really. So the gearing's not exactly the best. For what it is, you know, just a cruiser to go round the country lanes, don't get me wrong, it does more than what it needs to. But for me, again, you know, trying to tour on this, I could just do with 6 gear. Another one for me is probably what a lot of Bolt riders will agree on, and that's the fuel range. This is, I can't remember off the top of my head if it's an 11 or a 12 litre tank. I'll quickly just put a little bit of a clip up there, but my guess is it's an 11. And out of this, you get about 120 miles before the fuel light comes on. Now that depends on how fast you ride. It also depends on how wide open you've got that throttle, and whether you're giving a few, you know, little blips along the way. For me, like I said to you before, touring is something that I really want, and this just doesn't cut it. For Yamaha, realistically, I don't know why they didn't go with a larger tank. The bike is pretty much pear-shaped in my opinion, so I'll show you what I mean by that. So if you look at the profile of the bike, it starts off very thin at the top and then gets wider at the bottom towards the engine. Now that does a beautiful way of hugging your legs in and getting it in there. but your knees don't go anywhere near the tank, so there's no reason why they couldn't have given it a bigger tank. The other particular reason is this space here. What's that about Yamaha? So this is a seat, it's a stock seat, and then you've got this little bit of frame on show there. Surely we could have extended the tank a little bit more, bit of a different profile, possibly could have got a couple more litres added within that capacity, meaning that there's a lot more time in between fuel stops. The next bit brings me to the cockpit. So let's jump on and take a look. It is, start up, it's disc equipment for a bike that is, okay, this is 2015. What you got to bear in mind is this bolt's not changed since it's been made. There's not a huge amount of difference. Okay, they've got the R, they've got the C-spec, but the equipment is still there. You just get a trip and your speed. Okay, you do get indicators, you do get an engine management light, you get the odd few lights that you generally get on a lot of bikes, but it doesn't show you your fuel range. It doesn't show you your revs. It's very basic really, and for that it's just not cutting it for me. The fourth thing I don't really like is, and it's a Yamaha thing more than anything about the XV950, is the availability of parts. You want to customise this bike and you're in the US, there's thousands of parts available for you. Air filters, exhaust, the lot. Here in the UK, it's a different matter. We can't get hold of the same things you can. And the import duty is just ridiculous. I've known stories of people spending over £100 on an air filter and then spending nearly that again on shipping. That's just ridiculous. Yamaha, if you're releasing bikes in certain areas, there's got to be an aftermarket bit, and you yourself have built this as a custom cruiser. Why haven't you got more parts available for us? And my fifth thing is probably a bit picky if I'm honest, but for me, you know what I'm like with paintwork. I love cleaning the bike and I love making sure she's in tip-top condition, and it's the key. Yamaha, I understand you were going for the cruiser look and you were, you know, trying to make the bike a little bit unique and moving the key from up here to there, but you can't have any sort of key ring because it literally just rubs the entire way. So that's my fifth thing I don't really like. Now, okay, we've sat and we've moaned and we've bitched about the bike overall, but do you know what? That doesn't matter to me. That really, really doesn't matter. This bike is fantastic. I've only got a limited, you know, availability of the bikes that I own, and you know, I've only been riding, I think I worked it out, realistically on a big boy bike, 3 years. I haven't got that much to go against, and the XV is probably, you know, one of the first bikes that I've had that I've really fell in love with, but I fell in love with it. That GSXR was a means to an end. It was something to get me on the road. It was something I rushed into. The XV I thought about, I researched, I trawled the internet and went through hundreds of videos. I met the fabulous guys on the Bolt Riders UK, and if you haven't already done so, please go join that page. Those guys are absolutely awesome. They're up for banter and they're always out together for a ride, so you're never not far from a Bolt when you're with those guys. But other than that, like I said, the bikes, I've pushed this bike to the limits of what I feel I can ride it, and like I said, that's what I ride, and I know I keep repeating that, but it's true. I don't want these niggles that I've just pointed out about the bike to, you know, steer you away from how fantastic she actually is, because she is. And if the decision comes that she needs to go, it'll be really heartfelt moment when I see her go. But for now, she's here, She's stored in the old man's garage. While we're here, let's take a look. So his Fireblade's gone, but he's still got the ducky. He's still got the Ducati he has. And you know what? She puts it to shame. You know, 2015 Yamaha Bolt. She looks good in here. She really does. And that's against the Ducati 848. Anyway, I've rambled on now. Hope I've not offended some of you guys that are absolutely in love with your Bolt with the things that I find just a little bit niggly. Leave a comment down below with the things that you find that are, you know, Yamaha could have just pulled the finger out a little bit better, really. Leave a comment down below. Other than that then, guys, if you haven't already done so, please do go and like and subscribe to the channel. We are getting content, as you can see, on a regular basis now. And all those likes and all those subscribes does just push me on a little bit more. So other than that, guys, catch you again soon.